Hello everyone. We're here today with Marc Arpon, who's an account manager at DNV and is one of our younger member ambassadors. Marc joined our delegation this week at the IMO for the subcommittee on ship design and construction, and he will be sharing some of his experience with us. So Marc, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your career at sea and your move ashore?
Sure, Chris. So a short about my person is I'm Marc Arpon. I'm from the Philippines, and what I did was actually I was a former marine engineer. This means I was sailing on different vessels. The first one was a ro-ro vessel. I then transitioned into a bulk carrier and also general cargo. My total sea time is 3.5 years, but of course, if you're going to include all the trainings and certifications, that's around 5 years. And during that time, I then transitioned to a career on shore, where I served one of the oldest German companies. And there, I was assisting a team of 7 superintendents. And during that time, I was also doing my master's. Yes. And during my studies and also working part-time during that time, I was approached by DNV, where I did my research on biofuels. And after that successful transition and also my work with biofuels for DNV, I then got a full-time work as an account manager in DNV, and that's what I'm doing right now.
Congratulations on doing that. That's brilliant. So how did the opportunity come and join the delegation this week at the IMO?
That's a very good question. I would first like to thank the members of the Nautical Institute. They've been quite helpful, and one particular member actually connected me to you so that I could actually share my experience and knowledge, which is here, SDC 11, Ship Design Committee, and provide you insights on that. That's why I'm here with you.
And I'm very grateful for your insights, particularly your observations on that, some of that stuff about ladders earlier on today. So why is volunteering at the delegation of the IMO important to you?
It's quite important because, first of all, I would like to say I value the insights in what the Nautical Institute stands for. And that is that the Nautical Institute actually assists and also looks out for seafarers. Being an ex-seafarer myself, I want to give back and also help out the seafarers by assisting and providing my knowledge to the Nautical Institute.
How's your experience at the IMO been so far?
It's great. And the great thing about that is I could actually see how these regulations and laws are being passed down and how decisions are being made. And these are actually very critical decisions. Speaking about my daily work, for example, just the towing arrangements, right? And this is just one example of the many complex topics that needs to be discussed. And actually, it is the IMO who decides in how we're going to deal with this.
That's brilliant. So how important was preparation? You mentioned, for example, the towing arrangements, and we exchanged a few papers on that. How was your preparation for coming to the IMO this week?
Yes. So before coming here to the IMO, I read a lot of documents which pertains to this committee, the SDC 11. And this outlines what was the agenda, has been already discussed, and what is then the stance of the Nautical Institute in such topics. But then again, also, I would like to bring out the experience and knowledge I already have with the maritime industry. So also bringing this into the picture of what is the Nautical Institute gonna then discuss in the IMO, bring that together in top with the documents, that is the preparation.
You've now watched proceedings in plenary in the IMO. How important do you think it is to have that active voice of a seafarer in that room?
It is very vital and important, actually, because at the end of the day, it is the seafarers who are actually there at sea, transporting these goods and operating the ships. We need to have an active voice in the IMO to actually look out for the welfare of the seafarers, and that is actually, in this sense, the Nautical Institute doing that for us.
Just talking us through some of the things that you've been doing. What stood out for you most during the meeting so far at the IMO?
There's some couple experiences that did stand out for me. First is actually seeing how these laws and regulations are being passed down, and seeing how the delegates discuss about such complex topics and then dividing them into working groups. And the second thing is also, I would say, what stands out is how actually the Nautical Institute treats its members. Everybody has been so open, been very nice to me here in the main branch of the Nautical Institute here in London.
Oh, that's very kind. Thanks very much for saying that. What's the main reason you joined the Nautical Institute in the first place then?
I'm just going to revert back to what I've also mentioned. I firmly believe in what the Nautical Institute stands for. And then I also want to give back to the seafarers in that, in this sense, the Nautical Institute is actually looking out for us. And that is one of the main reasons why I am a member.
It's great that you want to give back to the Nautical Institute. Really grateful for that. But thinking about you, why is volunteering at the IMO and joining our delegation important to you personally?
That's a great question, Chris. And first of all, as my role right now as an account manager in DNV, it's quite important to have first-hand knowledge on these topics being discussed in the IMO. Imagine being a ship owner, right? And there's a lot of complex regulations. In navigating through those regulations could mean financial impact. Having first-hand knowledge on that, and me being as an account manager, getting that knowledge from the IMO, sharing that to the ship owners and to my company, DNV, I think there's a big benefit for those involved.
That's brilliant. Thanks very much indeed. So volunteering can benefit your career development, do you think?
Definitely.
I'm so grateful for your expertise this week, particularly bringing what you have done from DNV and from your professional role.
Yes.
Coming back has been absolutely crucial. So how has that played into some of the discussions that we've had? You tapped me on the shoulder a few times. Do you just spot those opportunities as they arise, or is it something that you've really thought about deeply beforehand, do you think?
That's part of the preparations before actually coming here with the committee. I did read the notes, and there were some very interesting topics which are actually part of my work in DNV as an account manager. And like I mentioned, this was also the emergency towing, which actually is an unfortunate event that a ship caught fire, and I cannot disclose more information about this. But seeing that this is actually being discussed in the IMO and how our discussions is going to affect the evolution of these regulations is big importance.
So we're now representing seafarers and experts like you at the IMO. Is there a message that you would pass to other young seafarers and other younger members or non-members about joining the Nautical Institute and getting that representation into the IMO?
Yes, I believe my message would be quite concise in a sense, but I would encourage the seafarers, the young ones, to actually join the Nautical Institute, seeing what the Nautical Institute stands for and what it is doing for the seafarers. If we have a voice in the IMO, in this sense, which is the Nautical Institute, the needs of the seafarers could be looked after for better. For example, yesterday we had a presentation with Ocean where they considered the ergonomics and how the systems of the ship sometimes does not consider the seafarers, but just the design. So in this sense, they have not really thought out the end user, which is the seafarers. Now we need that, and that's why I would encourage everyone, or actually seafarers, to join the Nautical Institute.
That's great. So what's been your highlight this week?
I would say I have two highlights. One of the highlights actually touching on these very complex topics and actually providing my insight to you, since you are the representative for the IMO, and providing you with the knowledge about how these things go. And the second thing is actually, I was able to speak with the Secretary General, Arsenio Dominguez, and he was quite receptive, and this was my highlights.
I'm so delighted that you've enjoyed it so far this week. I'm looking forward to finishing off the week with you, and we wander back over later on today. We really appreciate you joining the delegation. I personally am very grateful for your expertise this week, and thanks for being a great member.
Thank you, Chris.